Mr Speaker, before I start, sir, can I just join with a number of other people in passing on my sincere condolences to Sir Archie Tairoa. Sir, I worked with Archie a lot in the early 90s on Māori broadcasting and establishing Māori radio, and as recently as just last year worked with him, sir, on the H in Wanganui spelling. He was a man amongst men, he was a legend, he was spectacular, and I will always feel richer in this life for having known him and worked with him. But sir, on the 1st of October of this year, a great event is about to occur, and it's an event that's been in the line of what I've been wanting as a politician for the entire time I'm in this House. And that, sir, is a move away from taxing incomes and moving to taxing spending. Sir, that is a spectacularly good move that the Finance Minister, Bill English, brought in the budget this year. It comes into effect on the 1st of October, and it will be one of the most important things to stimulate our economy, that tax shift, sir, away from taxing spending, away from taxing earnings, because earnings are a good, and of going into taxing spendings, especially consumption-type spending, because spending is a bad in my view. Going out and buying plasma screens and splashing out on all sorts of consumer luxuries are, if you choose to, fine, but sir, that's where you should be paying tax. And I actually absolutely congratulate Bill English for this rebalancing, because, sir, it does a number of things that are just fantastic. And Mr English referred to it in his speech. The first one is nearly 3/4 of all taxpayers will pay a maximum tax rate of 17.5 cents in the dollar. Sir, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. I actually remember times in this country's history when the marginal tax rate was 66 cents in the dollar. You know, you got a third of what you earned and the government took 2/3. And now Mr English has rebalanced the tax system and got it to a point where most taxpayers, that is 3/4 of them, will pay a maximum of 17.5 cents in the dollar. Now, yes, there is an increase in GST. I find it interesting that Labor is so opposed to that, because I actually remember a couple of things. First of all, GST came in at 10%, and I was around in those days in the mid-80s. And you know what, sir? And I'm sure a lot of members of the House that are in politics in the mid-80s, not a mutter, not a murmur, not a whisper of GST until they got into power. Was it in their manifesto? No. Was it mentioned on the hustings? No. Was it canvassed with anybody at all? No. And suddenly they got to be government. Labor got to be government. They didn't increase GST by a 2.5 percentage points as this does. They slammed it in as a brand new tax at 10%. Yeah, take that, no consultation, done deal. Now you might think, sir, I was criticising them for that, but I'm not. I actually think going to 10 cents GST was a very good first step, and I actually congratulate Labor for doing it. But sir, it wasn't long later, again, with no compensation, with no discussion, they put it from 10 up to 12.5. Now that is, listen to that, that's actually a 25% increase. 2.5 on 10 is a 25%. We haven't done even near that, because our 2.5 is on 12.5. And yet they did it with no compensation to the income earners, no compensation to superannuitants, no compensation to lower income. And guess what? That was all okay. That was perfectly acceptable for Labor to do that. And now Bill English comes out with a completely rebalancing package where people will get a lot more of their income in their hand to keep a lot more of the income. Let me give you a couple of examples. The average wage earner will be about $15 a week better off, even after they pay their increase in GST. Now, did that happen when Labor did their increase? No, it didn't, sir. No, it did not. The average family, so this is not the average income earner, we go to the family level. Average family in New Zealand, based on their circumstances and spending, will be $25 a week better off under this package. Well, here we go. Here's the question. Who would reverse that? And I guess the question is Labor going to get up in the House today and say if they get into government, and I don't think it'll be for a very long time, if they get back into government, is this GST going to go back down to 12.5? Not on your Nelly, sir. They think it's a great idea. It's simply just posturing by the Labor Party.
The Honourable Ruth Dyer.